So today we will study three potential causal links between neuroticism and mental disorders. So there are three working hypotheses. The first is that the same genes influence neuroticism and influence mental disorders. The second, persons with higher in neuroticism are more likely to experience stressful events and have less social support. And third, possible that neuroticism is associated with more pronounced emotional responses to stressful events. So first hypothesis, the hypothesis of overlapping genetic influences. So neuroticisms and mental disorders are correlated because they are partly influenced by the same genes. 1/3 to 2/3 of the genetic variants in mental disorders are shared with neuroticism. It is about the 5-HTT-LPR, which is a degenerate repeat polymorphic region in the SLC6A4, that is the gene that codes for the serotonin transporter. The 5-HTT-LPR polymorphism may be one of the specific genetic variants that influence both neuroticism and mental disorders. For example, persons with at least one copy of the short allele of 5-HTT-PLR tend to drink more alcohol than persons with the long alleles. Also, consistent evidence found that the short alleles of 5-HTT-LPR is associated with increased risk for depression among persons who have experienced stressful events. Second hypothesis, neuroticism, stressful events, and social support. The second causal link is between neuroticism and mental disorders as an indirect link through negative life events and lack of social support. There is evidence that persons high in neuroticism live their lives in ways that increase likelihood of many kinds of negative events. For example, individuals with high neuroticism scores are more likely to experience daily hassles and have conflicted and unstable relationships with friends, etc. The higher frequency of stressful events in the lives of persons with high levels of neuroticism is important because it's likely that stressful life events precipitate a range of mental disorders. Similarly, neuroticism predicts lower levels of social support. Social support is linked with depression and partially mediates the association between neuroticism and depression. Furthermore, greater social support predicts shorter episodes of depression in prospective studies. For example, participants with high neuroticism responded to a standard negative mood induction task with more negative affect than participants lower in neuroticism. Similarly, a study of persons with rheumatoid arthritis found that persons with higher neuroticism scores experience great negative affect on days when negative events occurred. Moreover, persons with neuroticism scores are more likely than others to develop anxiety and depression following negative events. Coping style is an important component of the greater emotional reactivity of persons high in neuroticism. There is evidence of persons high in neuroticism use fewer problem-focused and more emotional-focused strategies to cope with stress. People high in neuroticism are more likely also to use escape avoidance strategies to cope with stress. Hence, persons high in neuroticism have increased likelihood of experiencing negative life events and increased magnitude of emotional reactivity to those events, partly because how they cope with stress.